Boy, was it a weekend of severe weather.
So many problems with flooding for our last weekend in April.
It is an absolute mess in the Ozarks right now. Flooding, flash flooding all over the place, especially northwest Arkansas, southwest Missouri, and northeastern parts of Oklahoma, where they've had so much rain over the last week, and then they just got dumped on in the same spots over the last 24 hours.
We've had rivers for driveways in a lot of spots. You can see Missouri, one of the places very hard hit, but this went through several states, including Ohio. Several water rescues, millions remaining under flash flood watches and warnings.
Tons of roads that are impassable.
The severe threat is sliding east.
Severe weather impacts are ongoing.
And, you know, we don't really have the greatest news ahead for the outlook.
50 million people at risk today for severe weather.
It's like a cyclone in the middle of America. And you got these winds coming down and these winds going. That don't even make no sense. Like these are, what is the wind doing? Is everything gone crazy? We are now in May. And may the weather please calm down. May people please calm down.
Stay cool. This is a Thor News presentation. Thor News presents.
And we'll see those storms progress toward the east during the overnight hours to include a place like Atlanta, where you could be waking up to some thunder in the mornings.
There's more impacts to come with additional rounds of severe weather going into Monday. Everybody, please be careful.
But this time around, we have the ample amount of energy in place and a tremendous amount of moisture. All of those ingredients coming together perfectly for the perfect storm, literally and figuratively, as far as what's expected by Monday evening.
50 million people at risk today for severe weather.
Monday, we are expecting a surge of warm air ahead of the stormy weather that's going to set things perfectly for these storms to break out.
Here's what we're looking at. It is a southeast mid-Atlantic threat that stretches all the way up to the northeast.
Now, we're looking for an array of things. Damaging winds, actually possibly some damaging hail, downpours, and there's going to be the risk of isolated tornadoes. Now remember, this is throughout central portions of Pennsylvania, New York, Buffalo area, up down towards West Virginia, going to Virginia and up to Buffalo. They're not typically accustomed to a lot of tornadic outbreaks.
The threat of tornadoes is certainly going to be around, but please don't discount the threats of flooding. As we mentioned, that's already claimed lives as well this weekend.
Here's a look at this line of storms that is going to be advancing through later this afternoon and into the evening.
We'll be talking about some travel delays.
Hail and wind, but we cannot rule out tornadoes.
Winter storm Ursa has already done a lot of damage.
We've seen almost 1.5 feet to more than 3 feet in terms of snow amounts.
And it's got more to go before all is said and done.
Grand total storm accumulation. And we're looking at still significant amounts going on right now over western Kansas and even to where we could see several inches into western portions of Minnesota. Downpours threaten Chicago.
It certainly could get icy even up into the arrowhead of Minnesota, even as we go through late Monday afternoon.
And this is what's causing the problem. Early May river flood risk, moderate to major flooding expected along the Mississippi throughout the Mid-South. The White River, current, black, the Missouri River, the Illinois River, as well as the Wabash River going throughout portions of Indiana. This is because we've already had widespread scattered showers.
And stay tuned on this river flooding. It's going to be a really big deal during the week.
And then Tuesday's feeling pretty nice, along with some sunshine. I can't complain here Tuesday. Monday, though, there will be some big travel delays.
Now, on Wednesday, we are going to see a renewed threat to the south, basically along the I-10 corridor from Corpus Christi up to Houston and over to New Orleans.
As you can see, the storm is moving slow. And what is this thing? I bet it's mean sea level pressure. Let me just check that real quick. Yep, there we go. Giant mean sea level pressure spot moving across America. And here's our high level pressure zone, which is keeping all the moisture out of California. All right, it's 1 p.m. Monday. What is this weird face right here? Is it like a dog with horns? Dog skull. And now here you get the whole spike up and down the coast. I don't know, I got a weird feeling. I could be wrong. But here now covers the whole coast. Back to total cloud water. And now we got a weird cyclone over here. It's not a cyclone, but it looks like one. And then it's bringing rain all along Alaska, coast to Canada, up into parts of Washington. And then we get the storms coming back through here. See? It's the 3rd of May. What is that? Wednesday? Yeah, we start all over. Oh, crap. So we were talking 2 a.m. on Wednesday. It fires back up again. As the Gulf moisture is being pulled into the middle of America. We're going to get some heavy rain. It's not going to be good. This looks like heavy rain back almost into Texas, up through here. And so these places won't even get a chance to dry out. And that looks like very bad rain. Georgia, Mississippi, coast is getting picked on. I don't even know what the hell that is over here. Looks like a Cinnabon storm. That looks wild. So here's our high level pressure point, which is being like a goalie. But this just don't even look good, man. That don't look good at all. So there's a chance. Looks like next weekend could be worse than this weekend. Next weekend could be worse than this weekend. When this thing kicks over this thing and then goes through America, oh, I don't even know, man. It's not good at all. Holy crap, man. What is that? Wow. And so the freezing goes all the way out deep into the Pacific. It's kind of scary. God bless everybody. We'll be back. And I'll still be saying, oh my God, the weather's crazy. Except it's getting crazier. We're not. Peace out. Stay cool. Live long and prosper. And may the force be with you always.
Now, we do have an enhanced risk from Virginia all the way up into upstate New York.
One big issue we were having was in parts of Kansas, Colorado, trees actually falling down just from the amount of heavy snow. That's got to have been a tornado, right? Now, the Weather Service has surveyed it. They said it was straight line wind. Look at that. That's actually the stands from the stadium across the street. So it doesn't always have to be a tornado. When we say we got damaging wind coming, straight line wind damage and stuff like that, it's a pretty big deal. Hey,
look at these drivers witnessed crossing the road, Canton, Texas, very, very hard hit.
Look at the violence of that one. I mean, that is unbelievable, just seeing it shred up those trees like that.
But you can see the damage that's been left behind. This was what was a car dealership.
There's a reason that people say tornadoes sound like freight trains, because they do. One of them was around a mile wide at one point.
And the severe weather threats continue.
Remember, I was saying at the beginning, straight line winds are still a pretty big deal. That's what we're going to have tomorrow. Now, through Monday morning, we're expecting a lot of rain in these spots. So keep in mind, the flooding is still by far the biggest story.
But again, hail, tornadoes, damaging winds, and downpours.
When this high pressure system gets into play, and it'll be perfectly placed to keep the sunshine and that flow coming off the Pacific.
This thing seems to be keeping California safe.
And it'll be perfectly placed to keep the sunshine.
If it's happening